Quickly before we start this video, I want to mention, don't X out of these videos because you see a kid trying to do something that a pro or maybe someone with a degree over it should be doing. You might find something useful out of these videos, and you might actually learn how to build a computer from them. So stay tuned and don't click out. Yes guys, welcome back to another episode of How to Build a Computer. So this is going to be part 2, and I'm just going to be talking about some of the parts. As you can see, here we have the case. This is actually a combo of the keyboard and the mouse, the power supply, the motherboard, the processor. This is my 1 terabyte storage thing. I forgot the name completely. The RAM, and some tools, some screwdrivers to help us open the case and stuff like that. These are just all the cords for the monitor. Oh yeah, this is the monitor, by the way. Today we'll be talking about what parts you will need for your computer. The main things you need to think about is that in most videos they don't include a monitor, a mouse, or a keyboard, and those are still things you have to buy. Unless you have an old computer, which you can take them from, you still need to add that into your budget. So here is a list from what you need. You're going to need a motherboard, a CPU, a case, a power supply, a video card, and that is just up to you if you're going to be doing a lot of gaming, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, RAM, your storage, and your optical drive. Now, what the optical drive is it's just so you can put in DVDs, CDs, and normally you want to get the ones that can read Blu-rays as well, because now, modern day, you know, mostly everything is Blu-ray, so you're probably going to get one of those. Now we'll be getting on to what you are looking for in each individual part. So in the motherboard, you want to make sure that there are enough RAM slots to fit the RAM that you are going to get. For example, in this motherboard you can fit 4 sticks of RAM. Now I'm only going to be using 2 sticks of RAM, as you can see here. Let me just show y'all. Skadoosh. 2 sticks of RAM. So that won't be a problem. We've got that down. Also, you need to consider that your computer will use Wi-Fi, obviously. If you're not using Wi-Fi, I don't know where you are. I don't even know how you're watching this video. So obviously, if you don't have a motherboard that comes with Wi-Fi, with a Wi-Fi chip, this one does. That is actually why I got it. And also for another reason, which we're going to talk about later. Also, you want to make sure, and if you don't have the Wi-Fi in this, you can buy a chip that's like $5, $8 extra, or you can just plug it in through an Ethernet cable. It's up to you. Next, we'll be talking about the CPU. Now, for the CPU, you want to make sure that you've got good gigahertz. Gigahertz are just the measurement of the speed that it runs at. So anything normally above a 3 minimum is going to keep you good. Core processors. What core processors do is they're basically, if you think about it, they're like individual kind of computers. So if you have 6 cores on your CPU, then you can use 4 to stream and 2 to play games. I think I got that right. I know what the cores are. I'm pretty sure it takes 4 to stream and it takes 2 to run a game. Now, most CPUs will come with quad core. Those are a bit expensive, but the dual core are also very good if you just plan on playing video games or productivity on your computer or just for whatever. 2 is also good, but 4, better safe than sorry if you ask me. Also for the CPU, if you don't plan on getting a graphics card or a video card also, they're the same thing by the way, which basically are just used for gamers, then you also need to make sure that your CPU has integrated graphics in it, and you also want to make sure that it's decent graphics, because at the end of the day, that's going to be the only graphics that your computer is running with, so you want to make sure you get something decent with it, even if it's worth a few extra bucks. Now we come to the case, so that's this big boy right here. Something I like to look for, it's not necessary, but the acrylic panel is really neat because people can see inside your computer to see what you've spent days probably working on. But inside the case, you want to make sure, 1, that there's enough fans. This one has 3, 1 at the side, and 2 at the bottom right here, over where you can't see it. You also want to make sure it's big enough, because if you're going to be holding like 5 motherboards or whatever, like I don't even know why you do that. But if it is, you just want to make sure it all fits in here. Well, first of all, you want to make sure that you can put an optical drive in here. That's just easy to tell. You just have to look at the front side and see if there's optical drive space if you plan on using one. And also, on this side, you want to make sure that there's little slots so you can put in your memory, or your storage, I should say, which is that. your hard drive, that's the word. Something you also need to consider is that this needs to fit your power supply. And by the way, really quick, this is not something you need, but it will really help you out. This is a battery backup. This what will do if your power cuts out for some reason, you know, sometimes it like turns off and then back on in a fraction of a second. It can kind of mess up your computer or just make it restart. And that's kind of painful if you're doing something and it kind of deletes all of that because it couldn't save it. So the power backup, the battery backup, is just, it keeps battery in there, so if there's a power shortage, it'll use the battery that's in here to power your computer. So that's just something you need to keep in mind. But also for the case, you want to make sure that obviously your power supply fits, and that you want to make sure that your motherboard will fit. Also, something very, very important, which not a lot of people talk about, is color. As you can see, this case is black. This monitor is black. My keyboard and my mouse are black and blue. Those are all colors that go together. If you pick a green or let's say an orange case and a white monitor and a rainbow colored keyboard, I mean, it's still gonna work, it's still gonna function, but it's not gonna look so good. So you wanna make sure that there is something that looks good together. Now moving to the power supply, you wanna make sure that there's enough watts in your power supply to feed your entire computer. There is a great website called PC Part Picker, which is what I have used to build my computer. And also just the process of picking your parts will be done on a separate video. But PC Part Picker is really a great website, and it tells you how much watts you actually need. So for example, my computer needs around 300 to 400 watts. And this is a 550 watt power supply, so that will be fine. Something you also need to look at is if it's gold, silver, or bronze certified. This is not necessary, but it will really help you out because, so I'm gonna put this up here so you can see it better. This particular power supply is a gold 80 plus rated. So what that means is that basically it goes from gold, silver to bronze. And what that means is just that the power, like it's a power saver. Gold is the best. It will, waste very little, minimum electricity, while bronze will sometimes heat up and lose some electricity in the process, but it's still very good. And that is something you really want to consider when looking at your case. It will be worth your investment for a few extra bucks. Something that is very, very, very important is that you want to make sure that your power supply is fully modular or at least semi-modular. You do not want just a regular power supply. Now what modular and semi-modular means is that the watting comes kind of separate, so you don't get this huge cord that's chunky and it takes up all your space in your case and it doesn't look nice and it's just kind of all cramped. When you have a fully modular power supply, which is what I have here, each individual cord comes kind of separate, so what you don't need, you don't have to put in here and waste your space. Now into the video card. Now, I don't have one today with me because it is not part of my build, and also because they are quite expensive, but considering what you are going to be using your computer for example, if you're going to be doing a lot of video editing, you probably want to consider getting a decent graphics card, as well as if you're going to be doing a lot of hardcore gaming. For example, I know a lot of y'all out there play Minecraft, and Minecraft is not a very needy game. For example, because it's pixels, little squares, it's not very good graphics. But if you're running Call of Duty on your computer, you probably want to think of getting a decent card. Now, I will be linking 2 videos in the description of this video that will be explaining how powerful of a video card you really need, and if it's the right thing for what you're going to be doing. Now for the video card, for the starters out there who kind of are just trying to get a feel for if you need a video card, or if you know you need a video card and you kind of want to see what video card to get, price is a quick way to tell if it's good. Honestly, the price just tells you the quality. So if you get a $300 video card, you're going to be getting a very good video card. If you get a $150 video card, the only difference from that is that you're going to be getting a little bit better quality. But honestly, if you're just starting and you want a video card to run video games, you don't need to go out and buy a $3,000 video card. A $150 video card will do just fine. Something you also need to consider is that your video card has gigabytes. Normally, the cheaper ones are 1 gigabyte and the more decent ones are 2, and then the next category is 4. 2 is probably the best for those of you out there who know we'll be doing gaming, but just don't know if you're going to be needing a lot of video card power. Now moving on to the monitor. For the monitor, you want to make sure that the color, obviously, what I talked about, fits with the other key components of your build. Also, what you want to look at in the PC Pro Builder, it will tell you this information, the response time. The response time is just like if you move your mouse, how much time it takes to respond and actually do it on the monitor. So the best out there is 1 millisecond, and that is what this monitor is. And honestly, the price doesn't really vary if you go from 1 to 5 milliseconds. And also the performance is not very much because, well, obviously it's milliseconds. It's like fractions, milli is million. That's gonna be like more than 5 zeros. So obviously it's not gonna affect your gaming experience or just your computer experience very much, but it is something that you might want to consider. Another thing you want to consider when looking at your monitor is the size. You don't want to get a huge monitor that won't even fit in your desk, because then what's the point of getting it? And then also something you want to look at is the price. This monitor goes for around $120, and it's a very good monitor. Honestly, I'm quite impressed with how it came. It's got the protective on the back, and you just want to make sure that the price that you're getting is something you're okay spending with, and that just remember this is just a monitor, so you don't want to go and buy out that $1,000 monitor that kind of curves around you if you still plan on getting a good computer for, you know, the other parts. Now, when looking at the keyboard and the mouse, obviously you want to consider color and price. Price is the most important thing. Now, on Amazon, I was scrolling through and I saw a set of headphones. So like the headphones, a keyboard, and a mouse together for a bundle of $30. Now obviously that would be a ridiculously, insanely good deal if it was quality. You have to imagine, people have to make profit when selling stuff, so they're not going to sell you a $30 combo with all that if they're not making profit. So it's probably going to be lower quality. This is a gaming mouse and a gaming keyboard that came in a bundle of around $30. Honestly, if you're not going to do a lot of gaming, you can still get a gaming mouse and keyboard just so it's comfortable and it's nice on the touch. More specifically, looking into the mouse, you want to make sure that the DPI is pretty good. I'm not entirely sure what that does, but just look into it and make sure it's the right thing for you. Also, you want to make sure that it looks comfortable to your hand, the price is good, and it looks good, because that's kind of the mouse. Like, you know, all mouse would work. You click, you left click, and you right click, and you have a scroll wheel. So you want to make sure that it looks good and it fits with the rest of your build. So when we left off, we were going to be talking about the RAM. For RAM, some things you really want to consider. You want to look at what type of RAM it is. This is DDR3 RAM, and the newest RAM that came out is DDR4. And really the only difference is the DDR4 RAM runs a little bit quicker, but it's really not that different. I mean, if you can afford it, and I mean, price is not a problem for you, then you can go ahead and get the DDR4 RAM. It's just a little bit quicker. You also want to see how much you're going to get. So this is 2x8, which is 16 gigs, gigs of RAM. Because sometimes I say gigabyte, so I thought I said gigabyte, but no, it's gigabyte. So that's 16 gigs of RAM. You don't have to have it, but it's nice to have it because it just runs a little bit quicker. Also, it's in the website, wherever you buy it. If you go to the specs, it will tell you what speed it runs out. I forgot this one. I think it's like 1600 or something. And you also want to look at the price, obviously. Moving on to the storage, something you want to consider is how much storage you're going to be needing. If you're in a budget, don't go with like the half a terabyte or the quarter terabyte. Just go with a minimum terabyte, because it's a computer, it's not a phone. You need to be able to save information on there. And if I had my phone, which I still can't find, I'd be able to show you like some details. But so the hard drive I have now is a Seagate hard drive, because the other one, the other popular one, I can't remember the name. Like you know what I'm talking about when you go to the website. I didn't get that one because my dad has had 3 of them, and they all broke within a year. Yes, hard drives break, or they stop working. That is something you need to consider. Hard drives won't last you for like as long as you use your computer. Hard drives break, but normally they don't break before a year, so that's why I didn't get the other one. Something you also want to look at is the speed. This one is 7200. Again, I can't remember the measurement because I don't have my phone, which I swear to. Next up, you want to consider getting an optical drive. An optical drive is not necessary, and I actually don't have one with me today, or here, because we were waiting for a rebate to come in from Newegg, which is a company that sells products, like computer products, and it's just taking way too long to get the rebate, so we're just going to go buy an optical drive. So something you want to consider when buying an optical drive, you probably want to make sure it burns CDs and DVDs, and that it can read Blu-rays, because nowadays Blu-rays are what is used. So you want to make sure that it can at least read it.
Testing, testing. Where did I put my phone?
Where's my phone?
Where did I put my phone? What is... Where is my phone? Are you kidding right now? Oh my God. Where did I put my phone? God. Okay. Did I put it here? Nope. Okay, came here, turned on the lights, pushed this away. Phone is still not here. The table, this table. Am I blind?
What the f? Okay, now I really need my phone because I need the freaking details on what I chose. Where is my...
Just kind of all cramped in there.
Guys, thank you for watching those videos. I know it's been really long, so I'm just going to make this short. Thank you for watching. This has taken a really long time to edit, and I'm really tired because I just finished editing it. So if you could give this video a thumbs up, that would really be awesome. And thank you for watching, guys. Part 3 will come out soon, don't worry. Bye.